Aristotle's Rhetoric is a comprehensive treatise on the art of persuasive speech. The author developed this work over the course of many decades, spanning his time at Plato's Academy from 367 to 347 BCE and his time teaching at the Lyceum from 335 to 322 BCE. Aristotle did not intend this work for wide publication. Rather, it was a collection of works that either Aristotle himself or a subsequent editor combined. To give a better public speech, to be more confident or compelling in your communication, you have to first learn how to define your audience and build on that. The emotions displayed, the chosen topics, and the perspective of the presenter are all important when speaking in front of a crowd. However, knowing how to link them is what makes a remarkable speaker stand out. The Art of Rhetoric presents a series of evergreen concepts about persuasion, such as ethos, meaning character, pathos, meaning emotion, and logos, meaning logical reasoning. These serve as a norm for any orator who wants to improve their speech and capture their audience's attention. Other essential aspects are presented in this book, and many crucial lessons derive from them. For example, find your rhetoric style and adjust it to the situation. And to appear trustworthy to your audience, you have to take care of three core aspects. And a good speech consists of a logical four-part structure. Aristotle says that you should be flexible when it comes to your audience, but stay true to your own style. As an orator, there's nothing worse than experiencing an audience that doesn't engage with you. Grabbing everyone's attention and maintaining an engaged crowd while you communicate the purpose of your speech is what every public speaker is aiming for, but only a few manage to achieve. So, what is it that makes a difference? According to Aristotle, every speech requires its own rhetorical style, meaning that you have to design it specifically for your audience. To do that, you have to choose your own method of persuasion, whether it is ethos, pathos, or logos, and explore the persuasive aspect of a circumstance. Ethos is authoritative, pathos is emotional, and logos is rational, based on an argumentative point of view. The latter is the most persuasive of them all because it has truth and virtue at its base. Pathos is considered sneaky and deceitful as it manipulates your audience with emotions rather than convincing it through facts. Therefore, you should opt for using logos in your public speeches as this method of persuasion is truthful. Therefore, it makes your audience believe in you and consider you a reliable source of information. It also works best on any type of crowd as it is based on objective facts rather than subjective emotions. The second lesson Aristotle teaches us is that intelligence, strong character, and goodwill are essential when it comes to making your audience trust you. Focusing on ethos and logos will make your audience perceive you as a trustworthy source of information. To do that, you have to stay true to your character and build on it during your speech. Make sure to present yourself as an experienced individual to seem reliable and professional. Therefore, you must first focus on intelligence. This quality can derive from carefully crafting your speech before you present it to the public. You do this by researching it thoroughly and learning it in case you are being asked questions. Taking care of these details will make you look professional and experienced in your field. The second thing you should look after is emotion or pathos. The way you express yourself to the public and the feelings your audience feels are essential factors to consider. However, make sure not to overdo this part as it can make you look like a fraud. Engage naturally with your audience and present true emotions. Lastly, you will want to work on tailoring your speech to a specific audience. You should take into account the demographic factors such as age, the purpose of your speech, the occasion, and any other factors that are relevant to your public speaking. For example, passionate speeches are best for young audiences, while solemn vocalization is preferred more by the elderly. The third lesson Aristotle teaches us is that create your speech based on a structure of four essential parts. Crafting a good speech can be a challenge. That is because as a presenter, you have to empathize with your audience at all times and keep them engaged over the course of your speech without losing track of your ideas and overspending their precious time. So how can you conform to all those requests? Is there a formula to that? Fortunately, there is a formula to that, or at least a structure that you can follow to make your speech persuasive. You'll want to start with an introduction, something that lets your audience know what your speech is going to be about, arousing their interest and presenting your ethos or character at the same time. Next, you should start by presenting your narrative. Make sure to include all the important details, but keep it short and to the point. After all, you don't want to bore your audience, right? This is the part of your speech where you can make use of your pathos and awaken certain emotions to help build your case. After the narrative, it's best to present arguments and facts that support your case. As you might have guessed, this is the part where you make use of logos, or the rational part of your speech. During this part, you want to prove the points you previously made in your narrative and make your story's veracity non-questionable. Lastly, you will want to wrap it up with a short but compelling conclusion. Here you should summarize the points you've made so far and finish it up with a punchline or an emotional bang. Aristotle himself used to end his narrative with an accidenton, which implies omitting conjunctions. One of his conclusions sounded something like, "I've made my case, you've heard my facts, now judge."